What's going on, guys? It's Red Bull Tanker, and welcome back to Historical Board Gaming's The Korean War, turn 10. Alright, for this turn we are looking at the months of January and February 1952. So we have entered a new year and some new moves. Alright, starting off, the North Koreans had 41 to spend. They repaired 10 on their damaged factory, then bought 4 infantry and 4 artillery, and saved 3 IPC. Combat, they took their infantry from Osan with 2 tanks from Seoul and attacked the lone UN mech infantry here in Chonan. They did kill the mech, but the mech was able to kill the infantry in 1 round of combat, so the UN forces giving them as good as they got. Then on the non-combat, North Korea moved the bulk of its army down here into Osan. It had moved a mech from Yanggu to Incheon, and then moved the rest of its ground forces into the parallel. And then after deploying in Seoul, the North Koreans collected 42 IPC plus 3 saved for 45 IPC next turn. China had 40 to spend. They bought 3 fighters, and just to throw everybody off, they also bought a mech and a tank. China conducted no combat this turn. They just continue to keep pushing their forces south towards the battle lines in South Korea, while moving their fighters into Seoul and moving their fighters from Seoul into Osan to back up the North Korean army there. And then after dropping their purchases, China collected 35 IPC. South Korea had 17 to spend. They bought 5 infantry and decided to save 2. They had 1 combat. They took their 2 artillery in Sangju and did an artillery barrage against the 2 tanks in Chonan. The artillery did score 1 hit, but the trade-off was the North Korean counter battery fire also got 1 of the South Korean artillery. So that was the South Korean combat. Non-combats, they just Pusan to Pohang to Sangju, and then dropped their 5 infantry here in Pusan. And then at the end of the turn, South Korea collected 16 IPC plus the 2 they saved for 18. The United States had 50. Same purchase as last time. 6 infantry, a tank, or 6 mech infantry, a tank, and 2 fighters. This time around, the infantry are the 75th Infantry Division and the 9th Infantry Division. U.S., as always, did the bombing raid against the Seoul factory. No scramble, made it through the flak, scored 10 hits. And then on the non-combat, moved all their aircraft back. The 47th Infantry Division, the 23rd Division, and the 6th Armored are all moved into Sangju to join the lines. And then the 80th and 70... Which one was this? The 76th and 80th Divisions landed with their tank and 2 aircraft supporting. The bombers came back to Wigwang. And at the end of the turn, the U.S. collected 50. The UN had 20, 2 mechs and a fighter. Combat, they took their tactical and fighter and attacked the the North Korean mech here in Incheon, since it was undefended with 3 supply. The UN killed at no loss to their aircraft. Non-combat, they moved their planes back to Sangju. Kind of fortified the line here in Taejeon. And then what am I missing here? I'm missing something. Oh, they're supposed to have 5 infantry. They're supposed to have 5 infantry or 5 mech deployed on here. Whoopsies. That's what I forgot. Right? Yes. And I think I screwed up again too. Let me see here. So they were supposed to have 5 mech from last turn. Oh, and they had saved 2 from last turn as well. So then I saved 2 again. So they actually will have... So they're actually going to have more at the end of the turn. So, yeah. Yeah, 5 mech. Okay, so then deployed the 5 mech. And then at the end of the turn, they collected 20. Plus 4 that they saved. So the UN will have 24 IPC to spend for next turn. Coming up with the loss of Chonan, the Allies are down to 13 territories to the Communists 24. South Korea is now at 16. North Korea is at 42. Everyone else is the same. And I think that is it. So that is all we got for turn 10, and we will see you guys next time for turn 11. So until then, guys, as always, take care.